Hello, everyone. Welcome to FinOps Summit Canada 2024. I hope all the viewers and audiences having great time enjoying or watching the session on FinOps. So today I'm going to talk on what is FinOps, impact of FinOps on cybersecurity and cloud security. Hello, everyone. My name is Shah. I'm part of Canada DevOps Community of Practice. And to begin with, I just wanted to quickly introduce myself more in detail and we'll get the topic started in depth. I'm a cybersecurity and DevSecOps professional. I'm also a technology and educational consultant. I hold various cloud certifications in Azure, Oracle. I'm a certified Scrum Master. I'm a certified DevSecOps leader. I'm also a mentor for edX. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on my email address or connect with me on LinkedIn. I have my website as well posted over here. And if you are in the journey of FinOps in cybersecurity or cloud security and wanted to have a quick chat, I'm open to communicate and see where your journey is and how we can collaborate together in the near future. I have 8+ years I have 8+ years of experience and I've worked in several sectors and fields ranging from telecommunication to home mortgage company to software consulting field. And currently I'm in cybersecurity and cloud security. I hold both a bachelor's and as well as master's degree and I'm affiliated to various communities and organizations ranging from DevOps Institute. I'm board member and ambassador for IEEE Young Professionals and part of IEEE Canada Region 7, as well as a community leader for the Canada DevOps Community of Practice. With that, let's see what is the opening remarks about FinOps. With the adoption of public cloud, procurement of IT has evolved from predictable upfront capital expenditure to variable consumption-based monthly bills. There is a lot of gap between procurement, financial team, IT, as well as various other team when they want to onboard a new tool related to early development, or they want to onboard a new cloud, and if they want to move to from data center to cloud. Especially a lot of things have happened post-COVID era where a lot of teams and a lot of companies have moved from on-prem to cloud, and that makes decision for engineers very tough because financial team are not able to cope up with their regular expenditure and they see that it's an overspend based on their budget. With that, let's see what is the current cloud market says and what are some of the numbers and statistics. Up to 60% of organizations has encountered that they have overspent in their cloud. Close to 50% of the CEOs are now extremely concerned that their expenditure in cloud is overspent. With that, up to 30% of cloud spend is categorized as waste that can be optimized as well. And with the recent IDC poll, out of every 10 organizations, six CIOs have admitted to spend more on cloud than initially budgeted. And what is a new trend now? And what different CIOs and C-level executives are saying, that if security is a day 0 job, FinOps is a day 0.5 job. And it is time to shift FinOps left. And with that, we also have a new word, FinDevSecOps, which I'll be covering more in detail in later of this presentation. So let's get going. What is a new word, a new coin, FinOps? FinOps stands for financial operations. Some of them is also considered and called as cloud financial operations, cloud financial management, cloud expenditure management. But everyone is just running behind cloud. But it's just not that companies and teams are overspending in the space of cloud. They're overspending in the space of cybersecurity as well, with the onboarding of new tools, new technologies, and new softwares. A lot of developers are just onboarding new tools with there is no theme and there is no count with financial and procurement team. So FinOps is a practice of bringing financial accountability to variable spend model of cloud, enabling distributed teams to make business trade-offs between speed, cost, and quality. In cybersecurity, FinOps is all about understanding the cost implications of different security measures and making informed decisions about what to allocate in the terms of resources. Resources can be anything, different virtual machines, different networking devices, your entire infrastructure. And this involves a deeper understanding between the technical teams as well as the financial teams. And there has to be a right balance between the cost, security, and the every inch of dollar and penny spent on cybersecurity. And that is, of course, has to be spent effectively and productively. So that is the world of FinOps. FinOps has different principles and different phases. FinOps has a total of 6 principles, starting from teams and collaboration. What is the right ownership of cloud usage? What is a timely reporting system? Do we have a centralized FinOps team? Are we taking the right advantage of cloud spend? And what is the driving decision for the business value? And with that, we have 3 FinOps phases as well, starting with inform, which has visibility and allocations. Second is optimize, where we are doing right usage. And third is operate, just around improvement, monitoring, and operations. I won't go too much in depth of the principles and phases, but this is a good understanding that a lot of the teams needs to know what is FinOps, different phases, different principles, because this is the driving factor to enable a broader and powerful FinOps team in the future. So why FinOps is a need? And the first question is FinOps is a need? Question mark. FinOps accelerates business value, realization, and innovation. It drives financial accountability, visibility, at the same time optimizing cloud usage and cost efficiency. FinOps enables cross-organizational trust and collaboration. It prevents sprawl of cloud spend. So these are the top 5 reasons why all organizations need to have a FinOps team, FinOps culture, and a greater knowledge and awareness about FinOps. So this is a broader end-to-end diagram on FinOps taken from FinOps Foundation, as part of Linux Academy and Linux Foundation. I already covered some aspects regarding principles, the phases, but let me just quickly do a 10,000 feet overview about this entire architecture. With 6 principles, we have top 6 personas as well, starting from engineering, FinOps practitioner, finance team, leadership, procurement, and product team. With the personas, we have allied personas associated with it. We have 3 maturity layers as well, from crawl to walk to run. Basically, in which phase your company and team is, either you're in the starting phase, you're in the mid phase, or you have everything ready and boom, let's go to the market. How you're managing the FinOps practice effectively? Are you doing the right assessments, doing the right, in terms of maturity assessments? You have the various policies, you have governance, you have all the FinOps tools ready. How you want to use those tools? Do you have knowledge management hub for it? Do you have training and awareness program for all your engineers and employees who are using, who are using these tools and are associated to FinOps? Basically, education and enablement. What are the onboarding workloads? What are the different disciplines, and what are overall the operations associated to FinOps? And with that, we have various domains and capabilities of FinOps as well, from usage to business value, and to licensing and subscription model as well. So what is the impact on cloud security? Is this positive, is this negative, or it is neutral? So there is various impacts on cloud security in terms of to begin, we have cloud usage patterns. Are we detecting various anomalies? Is the spike higher or lower compared to the previous quarter or previous versions? How we are integrating security policies with financial controls, which can reduce risk. Collaborating with FinOps and security teams is a must, especially in this in this trend, in this growing market, and basically having a secure cloud environment. There are a lot of data breaches is happening, a lot of cyber attacks. Why? Various reasons. It's employment fault, it is in a tool fault, it's infrastructure fault. Not everyone on the same page, but it's also to understand the various cloud usage patterns where we are storing the keys. That is the whole different world of cybersecurity. But at the same time, we need to know, okay, where we are spending those tools, where is the money coming and going into? Are the teams and organization benefiting from these tools? Some of them don't even know, okay, this tool is already there, this software is already there, but we are not using it. So that's where your cloud budget is increased in the last quarter. This is an example of an organization cloud usage chart, basically saying, okay, we have, for example, our AWS environment, we have various virtual machines, we have various containers, the images are having a runtime security scan. Out of all these things, n number of virtual machines are up, but no one is using it. So that's why every month there is a amount spent behind it, and we are all over basically saying that. And towards the end, we come to know, okay, the cloud bill is high because we are not using it in the right way. The cloud usage is not the job of a cloud engineer. It's the overall job of the entire engineering team, ranging from financial team, procurement, DevOps, cloud, security, CIO, everyone. It's basically a shared responsibility. We cannot just be dependent on one team. Okay, because of you or your team, the cloud budget is high or the cyber budget is high. There is a lot of gap between the FinOps and the cloud security team. We need to know and understand the cloud usage patterns. What are the insights into the cloud cost management? We have to integrate security policies with financial controls, which can reduce risk. And at the same time, we need to be aware about the vendor management relationships as well. So is cloud FinOps necessary? Of course it is. The discussions we had until now, we came to know, okay, FinOps is necessary, cloud budget is increased tremendously. So we need to optimize it. And these are some of the reasons. First is cloud cost optimization, cloud budget predictability, using the cloud resources efficiently and effectively. There should be transparency and who is accountable of what, who has the right ownership. There should be a real-time monitoring and alerting system, and lastly, data-driven decision-making. So these are some of the 5 to 6 main reasons why there is a need for cloud FinOps. So let's go further. What are some of the next items on cloud FinOps? We need to know the cost visibility. We need to know the cost allocations, the budgeting factor, what is the right resourcing. Basically, okay, as I mentioned before, is the n number of VMs or virtual machines or database server needed? Is it up? It is in production environment, but no one is using it. Why? Is that because There is no right strategy. There is no right tagging of resources. There is no accountability. There is no email system associated to it, and number of engineering and infrastructure factors. At the same time, there is no collaboration between different teams. There's still a gap. People say we are using DevOps. It's not in the right space. Everyone is just, bombarding and just, it's having a lot of chaos within their teams. And at the same time, all the development teams and the infrastructure team says we have automation in space, but it is a space, it is a mistake of automation as well, because they're not using automation in the right way. There is no legal and right framework. There is a cultural gap, and there are several other reasons. But these are some of the immediate things each team and organization have to, have to make sure that FinOps is used in a right way. So let's see what are the key components of cybersecurity budget. First is preventive measures. Second is detection and monitoring. Third is incident response. And lastly, it is training and awareness. Preventive measures are the first line of defense. Are we protecting and preventing from getting data breached or from any vulnerabilities or even from a cyber attack? We onboarded a new tool, for example, a cloud monitoring or cybersecurity monitoring tool, which only particular team is aware of, not the entire team. Whereas the use case is that and different teams will be beneficial and benefited to it. But no one knows why this tool has been onboarded. It has just been ownership to only one team, and they are not using it in the right way because there is no particular strategy. Are we using the monitoring tools in the right way? Again, we have to check incident response, because after the post, any vulnerabilities or cyber attack, do your incident response plan, how to encounter it. And lastly, are all employees are trained, and there is a good culture of different vulnerabilities and cybersecurity awareness across the entire organization. So these are some of the key components of the budget. And with cybersecurity, there is also a factor of compliance. And is FinOps as a compliance differentiator, how it is impacting in the space of cybersecurity now? So let's start with cyber team can use the same resource tags a FinOps team implements to track department or project spending, to monitor and control access to sensitive information and corporate resources. Budget alerts from a FinOps tool can take a new meaning when FinOps and security collaborate in a right way to prevent a data breach. By integrating security policies with financial controls, teams can ensure that not only approved resources and configurations are in use, reducing the risk of misconfigurations that might lead to vulnerabilities, as I mentioned earlier. And lastly, it's about utilization. It's about the user activity, customer activity, employee activity of any unusual activity on their dashboards, preventing a security threat and a breach. With that, there is a rise of FinDevSecOps. Digital mandates brought synergies between business, IT, security, and developers in this rapid DevSecOps, DevOps world, and ultimately going into FinDevSecOps. FinOps is a framework, culture, and mindset that enables organizations to maximize the value of their cloud investments. It's all about accountability, transparency, and culture of optimization. So we have seen this diagram before. It says about FinOps framework, it says about different domains, but after going through our strategy, after going through, okay, what is happening in the cloud security, cybersecurity space. What is the impact? It's a positive impact. Why? Because FinOps brings to everyone together in one hierarchy, be it financial professionals, be it software engineers, DevOps, different tools to identify the right opportunities for cutting waste and maximizing the profitability. And also to check they are not overspending. Maximizing this profitability can also mean investing more in other areas and to deliver the ROI. So, what does a FinOps team look like? Towards the left on this diagram, we have different teams, starting from engineering, operations, infrastructure, and architect team, with the business owner, product owner for a specific product. We have C-level executive team members, and we have financial and procurement team. And towards right, we have different cloud providers, AWS, Azure, Oracle, Google Cloud, and whatnot. And middleman is the FinOps team. FinOps team will make sure that there is no overspend or either on cloud, either on cybersecurity, or even on any other tool. It's basically the three main pillars: people, process, and technology. With the right people, we are adopting the right process and we are using the right technology to cutting down the cost. The financial team and the procurement team will be the ones who will be doing the rate negotiations with various vendors and build the vendor relationships. And engineering team will also be working closely with the account team managers, technical account managers of those particular cloud CSPs in terms of infrastructure changes, in terms of upgrading their system, and they will have a proper communication with the procurement team as well. And the middle layer is the FinOps team, who has to do the right judgment and has to build a formal framework and practice going from crawl, walk to run. And with that, we see there are a lot of FinOps tools in the market already. These are some of the top 10 FinOps tools. Cloud Zero, Prosper Ops, Harness, Datadog, KubeCost, Cloud Health. And basically it's like finding a pin from a haystack. We have so many tools in FinOps, but most of the companies are facing difficulties and challenges. Okay, which one is the right tool? Not every tool is perfect. Some has pros, some have cons, some has licensing and suppression challenges. Not every tool gives the right dashboarding and reporting system, but it's basically to see your use case. How many users can be onboarded? What is the right time to onboard this particular tool? How many versions you need? How many environments you need? So it's based on different use case and different scenarios. One has to adopt a FinOps tool. But with the right usage of FinOps tool, we can definitely lower the cloud and cyber cost. Especially for C-level executives, where everyone say, okay, cyber is the last option. Like, we do not need a cyber onboarding tool. We do not need a phishing tool. And then ultimately we end up getting a lot of attacks in the particular company, because we see, okay, we are already over budget because you have used the X number of money in some other format where there was no need. There was no use case for it. So it's basically a proper strategy and teamwork and frameworks where we can have a right set of FinOps tools where we can lower the cloud and cyber budget. So how we can excel with FinOps? We need to start somewhere. So start now. Start small, but start soon. We have to explore FinOps enabling technologies. We have to also adhere to industry frameworks, standards to benchmark and track progress. And lastly, FinOps is a shared responsibility. We have gone through a lot. We have seen the impacts. We have seen the FinOps frameworks, FinOps pillars, principles, or what is the impacts on cloud and cybersecurity. But what's next? It's the emerging technology. It's the generative AI and how different AI ML models once onboarded, what are some of the stats look like? So this image is captured from one of the IDC, um, you know, reports, and we have seen that more than 50% have not been impacted after onboarding AI ML tools. 30% of them have been impacted uh, in the FinOps practice. And towards the right, we see that costs have rapidly increased once they onboarded, AI ML tools, and especially a lot of previously open source tools, then it's proprietary tools. So the impact has increased in one's company, and 15% of the teams are still, figuring out, okay, do we need to adopt any AI ML tools, and how the cost expenditure will look like. But with all this, there's still on horizon that post AI ML adoption, the cost might increase. So, but that doesn't mean that you cannot adopt the right tools. You can. It's with the right strategy, right people, right process, and right technology. So with that, let's conclude our today's session. And some final tips and tricks are: FinOps is an invaluable tool for managing costs for cybersecurity and cloud security. We have seen that by providing increased cost visibility and accountability, enabling budget optimization, simplifying vendor management relationship, and assisting with compliance, auditing, legal policies, and reporting. FinOps can help businesses ensure they are investing their resources effectively, efficiently, and productively. With that, I also have some references. Feel free to use these references. It's some reports, some in third-party companies, some of the architectures what taken from FinOps organizations. So feel free to use these references and to learn and know more about FinOps. And with that, thank you everyone for being here. I'm glad I shared some bits and pieces about FinOps in the space of cloud security and cybersecurity. And if you have further any questions, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, on my email address, and happy to talk and collaborate more on FinOps and to learn more what your company, your team is doing related to FinOps in terms of onboarding new projects, new tools, vendor management, and optimizing it in a right way. Thank you, everyone.